So I'm going to teach you how to manipulate selections. I'm assuming you already know how to make selections and the quick mask and how to save selections into your channel. If you don't know how to do that, I recommend you watch the previous videos attached to Enselic's video and even my video, which is a response to his manipulating selections. You can manipulate selections in the same way you manipulate layers. Let me demonstrate. It's the best way. I'm creating a circle. Click in the middle to create a selection. Now I have a circle here. This selection you can see here. What if I want to move this selection? I can do that by using the move tool. This is the move tool. Click on it, and now we go down to here. This is if we want to move a layer. We don't want to move a layer right now. We want to move the selection right here. So we click on that selection. Now we can move it wherever we want. In the same way, you can do all sorts of other things. You can scale the selection up and down. Like you can click on the scale button. Remember, click on the selection because we want to operate on the selection. And then you scale it up or down, and voila, we have it scaled. Similarly, you can shear it. Make sure you click on the selection again. You can shear it right or left. As you can see, we've sheared our selection. Same way you can apply the perspective tool and the mirror tool, the flip tool, depending on how you want to call it. Always remember, you want to mirror the selection. Otherwise you'll be mirroring the background. So you always want to operate on the selection, and you can do that. So all of these tools can be applied to manipulate selections, even the move tool, which can be handy. I mean, you might find uses when you do your work. Furthermore, you can also do various other things. You can, for example, grow your selection. You can click on, if you click on the menu select and you go down to grow, click this. We want to grow it by 15, and you'll notice our selection has grown. Alternatively, you can shrink the selection, or you can place a border around the current selection. It's quite handy if you want to do certain effects. Right now you can see that our selection has a border on it. If we want to operate the selection on our background, remember, you always have to click on the background of the layer where you want the selection to operate. So you click on that, get that paintbrush tool, and as you can see, our selection is operating on the background. So there you go, Control Z to undo. In the same way, what else is there? Distort. This is quite a weird function. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this is, but it does something very strange to your selections, and it turns it into this. I mean, whatever that's meant to be. I mean, you might find a use for it or not. I particularly don't find a use for it, so I'm going to undo that. So what have you learned so far? You can use all these select tools to manipulate your selections, or you can use these tools to manipulate your selections. I've just highlighted that so you can put that in your memory bank. In the same way, you can edit masks. Right now, what I did was save this selection to a channel. Watch my other video. I don't want to repeat too much. Now that it's saved in the channel, I can apply effects to the channel. Make sure you deselect, because I want to forget what I just did then. For example, with this channel, I can move the selection, move this deselected area. I can just use the move tool, click on the move tool. We want to operate on an active layer, because we're operating with regards to the mask. We're operating in a layer, not a selection. You can move it around. You can flip it. Make sure you click on the this affect the layer, not the selection. You can flip it around. Can be very handy, and you can do all sorts of complex things with it. You can rotate it. Oops, you see what I did then? I was operating on the selection. Now if we do that, it's going to screw up and nothing will happen, but we will have created usually I thought we'll created a floating selection, but since in this case nothing has been selected, nothing happens. So make sure you operate under this layer and turn it, rotate it, and it should rotate to whatever you want. Anything else? No, that's just about it. I hope you learned something, and if you want, I can demonstrate this in a practical application where I actually use this stuff. Like I wanted to create a love heart around two friends of mine, and I was working out how to do this, and one of the easiest ways is by manipulating selections. So there's a rough outline of a love heart. I created a selection from this path, and now I save the selection. So I went to select, save to channel, and it's saved right here. Now I can manipulate this current selection by mirroring the selection. So where's the mirror? I click on the mirror, flip button, click on the selection button, and I flip it. You'll notice it's flipped immediately, but I want to see where the previous I want to see where the previous one is, and that's where my previous selection is. I just highlight it in the channels dialog. So I move the selection to where I want it, so I can create a love heart, and that will do for the moment. And now I save this selection as well, save to channel. We have two selections right now. Save to the channel. I want to add, right now only the right hand is selected. I want to select the left hand as well, so I add the left hand selection to the right hand selection as we done before. Shift. Now we've got a love heart selected. I can save this love heart to the channel, and you can notice we've got a love heart here, and I can delete these two things here, and we've got a we've got a love heart selection. So I can make changes within this selection. Like in the photo I deleted everything on the outside, so I just had this lovely photo in the middle, and make sure you select. See, right now we just operated on the mask. We want to operate on the background, so you make sure you click the background, and that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you learned something. If you want to have a comment, please leave it. Oh yeah, I like to encourage people to, add to any points that I've missed. So if I've missed a point, please feel free to respond or make a comment. That's the end of the video. Enjoy GIMP. It's a free program. I don't have anything to say, but I really, really, really hope you learned something. That's the end. See ya.